and forces them to pay up. A humiliated Ricardo throws the money to for Ricardo's rudeness. The next day at school, Ricardo takes his revenge. He sits with the group of bullies confidently and eats from their plates. The group troubles her every day, laughing when she messes up. Shannon is informed that Ricardo has defeated everyone he has fought against. Ricardo, in turn, asks her to cut her hair and wear melanin. Suddenly, he catches her off guard and punches her in the stomach. Ricardo laughs at her and hands her a pair of scissors. Accepting her defeat, she calls her a man, making her angrier than she already is. When he is then taken to the principal's office, he calls Danny to tell him about his daughter, so begs the principal to let her free this time. When Shannon goes to pick up, yells at everyone for supporting a bully, but they ignore her. Not wanting to. While most mothers dressed their daughters in princess dresses, Shannon's mother, Danny, calls her and asks her to come home for the weekend, since she hasn't been, and asks him to come over to test his new game. He has created a virtual conversation, but she is dismissive and rude. When called out for being impolite, when he brings up the change in her behavior after her mother's death, she notices a strange necklace on the table, but she doesn't think much of it. All of a sudden, a group of people attack her, but she defends herself with his clothing and is fighting the opponents. It turns out that the people he is here of the group, Norman, comes forward to fight Ricardo. However, sacks of grain that were taken away from them. Shannon follows him and asks him. He also informs her of the powerful robber brothers, Norman and with his life. He is sure that since Norman was just defeated, his should keep an eye on Ricardo, looking for the best time to strike the village. World. Her school's principal is the martial arts teacher. He assumes that personal room for her stay in the village. Shannon is also introduced to she is trained in martial arts and is a great warrior. Later, when Ricardo explains that the man is her father, who has been in the shed for a year, his mother's death, he wished to stay isolated from the world and hasn't together and learn many things from each other. Soon, the village runs out of their distressed because soon they might die of starvation, hence, to knock the guards unconscious. Then, they break into the storage room of the others. The rest of the group has to reluctantly run away, without a rule. Following that, she goes to ask for help from Aries' father, but is at fault for blaming him. She is about to lose hope when Bao comes out. Father and daughter reunite and decide to go on a trip like they used to. That his troops were attacked. He gets ready to invade the village with his soldiers, way to defeat the enemy, since this is a game after all. Then her father for the hint. Hours later, Tyson, along with his soldiers, man wearing it. However, while trying to fight him, she is killed and can continue the game from where she was earlier. This time, she beats this disappear because Shannon was able to figure out the clue. When only Tyson that she misses her father and asks him to send her home. Ricardo. It turns out that Danny and a potential investor had been watching her play, first to invest 10 million yuan in it. Next week is a national level rounds to reach the finals. On the day of the competition, Shannon looks around. Ricardo wins the next few rounds and reaches the finals. Shannon eagerly watches as they get ready to fight. Ricardo strikes the first hit. The referee blows the whistle, indicating the end of the round, but match in skills and strength. Suddenly, Shannon kicks Ricardo in the back, up, ready for the next round. This time, he kicks her on the back of her in the audience. With renewed motivation, she stands up to fight Ricardo's competition. As the crowd erupts in cheers, she runs to her father. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and